Welcome in. This is going to be a reading for my Geminis. Thank you so much with your patience with me uploading the general forecast. Okay, I just be running around doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so I come on when I can. But we're going to see what you need to hear now in the current moment. We're going to start off with the oracle cards first, and then I'll pull a couple tarot cards towards the end to see what messages come through. Oh, any information that you may be looking forward to like find me on other social media and whatnot, I will have listed in the description box. And choose subscribe. So miss a beat. All right, let's see what's going on. What do you need to hear now? First card we have that just kind of flew. We have keep your heart open to unexpected possibilities. Yes, because you never know how your spiritual team, you never know how God is going to bless you. So the first message here for my Geminis, where you've been wanting certain things to come into fruition and you've been desiring certain things, know that there's not just one way to get to where you're trying to go. And as long as you're remaining open-minded to any direction that you're led or you're being led to get to where you're trying to go, know that it may not be exactly the way that you expect or picture things to go. So for example, for some of you, you want to be, expressing your gift and making money from it, for example. And the way to get to that may not be the way that you envision it. Like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, A, B, C to get to here. Maybe this opportunity is going to come to you in a different way. But if you're closed off to doing things maybe in a different way or closed off to other opportunities, you could just kind of miss it. So you want to remain open-minded. Now, the other message we have, your own best efforts are all that's necessary to progress, is the other card we have here. So trying not being, okay, so perfectionism is the worst thing that could happen to anybody who's creative. Perfectionism is the worst thing that could happen to anybody, period. So while some of you have been having this expectation of, oh, I have to do this right, or this has to be done this way, or I can't start at all, or what's the point of me starting if X, Y, and Z? Trying and showing some sort of effort is better than saying that you could do it and letting perfectionism stop you from seeing where that could take you. Now, another message we have here says, consider the advice of a friend, but make your own decision. Some of you have been getting advice from certain individuals where you need to be mindful if they're telling you advice from a place of genuinely wanting to help you or just projecting, okay? Especially if this is like close friends, family members, just certain people that could be projecting their experiences onto you. And you're not even aware that it could be coming from that place or from a place of biasness. And also when it comes to your decisions in life anyways, it doesn't matter what people around you think. So if you've been like constantly questioning like, oh, if I were to become a tarot reader, how are people around me going to feel? Or if I decided I wanted to do this, or I decided I wanted to make this move for myself, it doesn't matter what other people think in terms of your decisions. It only matters what you think and what you choose to be best suited for you. So make your decisions from a place of yes, taking advice from people who care about you, but also from what makes the most sense for you. Okay, so we also have detached that showed up here in reverse. I'm going to keep pulling all the cards and then we'll get into it. We have perseverance. I also have happy ending. We have listen. And one more we have refusing to see. Okay, interesting. So let's talk about these. So another thing that you may be needing to hear at this moment, detaching from an outcome is what's going to get you that happy ending that you're looking for. Some of you have been too attached to the outcome of how things are going to play out with a job, how things are going to play out with a family situation, play out with this, with that, to where it could either A, be causing you to be in freeze mode, where you don't want to make a decision at all. You're like, well, it's better to not make any decision than to make the decision and then it be wrong. Well, no, that's false. It's better to detach from the outcome and allow the experience itself to be the most important thing, so that you don't get wrapped up in the, should I or should I not, just because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And I see this mainly for my Geminis who are watching this, who are creatives. You want to be a business owner, you are a business owner. There could be too much, like I said, of a focus on the outcome. Or even with a relationship, some of you who are single, you've been so focused on, like, okay, is me dating this person actually going to be worth my time? Am I going to get the outcome that I want out of this situation? Well, we can't really determine that from the very beginning of the situation. But if you're putting efforts in and focusing on, well, how, instead of focusing on the will, but the how, then it could work out. But when you get too consumed, like I said, in the outcome piece, you already are like you're counting the eggs before they hatch, essentially. And that always leads to a level of either blocking yourself off from potentials, or being disappointed because things don't go the way that we envision it. And then we think all things are just kind of wrong, and everything like that. But beyond that, another thing that you may be needing to hear, it's important that you're preserving your energy. Some of you have been feeling very drained energy wise, and this could be because you're not going to sleep properly. You're going to sleep with a lot on your mind, trying to, think through all the problems in the world and solve world hunger at like 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, and your mind is constantly running, it's constantly flowing. So it's important that you're doing things to kind of like preserve your energy. And again, when you kind of live in the present moment, you don't have to be in this energy of ruminating on, are things going to go wrong? Or is there anything that I need to be doing differently? Like in this constant state of like being on your own behind, being your worst critic. Another thing I'm seeing too with listen and refusing to see, if you have somebody around you where you keep trying to get through to them, like constantly trying to get them to see your point of view, or you're constantly that person that they come to for advice, or even with a love interest, maybe you're constantly having to express yourself so that you feel like you're being heard in terms of what needs are not being met or whatnot. At some point, it's gonna be apparent that maybe this person, they got a helmet on where they're not able to really hear you. So the best way to approach situations like that, in the sense where if this is a love interest where they're not really hearing that your needs are not being met, I mean, you gotta like do what's best for you. But in the case where you're always being that person to give advice, and that also seems to be something that's not really helping, but it just seems like there's this blocker thing going on, at some point you have to choose your peace of mind, and not keep feeding into this. Okay, allow people to make their mistakes. Allow people to make their mistakes, because then who else can they blame? Themselves, right? Okay, so what else is going on for my Geminis? We have follow the leader that flew. Also have ride the wave. And we have details. I'm gonna pull one more from this deck. We have rock bottom. Okay, so yeah, for a lot of you, you're meant to be the person who breaks generational curses within your family, the person who does something revolutionary that people around you could be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that X, Y, and Z, or, certain things were possible. Like you could be that person in your, I don't know how to put this into words. You could be that person in your community that could be really making a mark if you are actually following through with your plans. And I'm really seeing this for my creatives. I keep seeing a huge message for my creatives, or for my Geminis who are like interested in doing something career wise that could be just like different, unique, expressive in a way, or just wanting to live life in your own terms. Like some of you are meant to be breaking generational curses by embarking on your spiritual journey. Maybe everybody in your family is like scared of that type of stuff, and you walking authentically in your path and not really caring about what other people think about you being spiritual, or about you having your own belief system, or you just being you. You could be setting some sort of example for certain people around you, even if they don't blatantly say it. You'll see. And you'll even have some people even tell you like, oh, you inspired me in this way. You inspired me in that way. For others of you, I'm also getting this energy with details, and rock bottom. Some of you have been in a past tense moment of feeling very low. And in that moment, there was an important lesson that was supposed to come out of that. That may have been for some of you looking closer at certain aspects of your life, the way you're managing your finances, the way that you're managing your personal relationships, your life as a whole, the work-life balance. Or this may have been in regards to like a relationship, and this may have given you a chance to really look closer at what you needed out of your relationship or what you need out of a partner. Whatever this may be, there was something that you were supposed to take from that lesson, not necessarily to be in that space of just kind of staying low or to just be at a low point. There was a lot of valuable information that came from that. If you did dig deep and ask yourself the important questions during that. And now, since you're evolving from that low point, now it's important to take what you've learned and crystallize it as lessons and move forward. Okay? Hey y'all. Sorry, I was so into the reading. I didn't even see you guys in the comments. Hey everybody. So yes, okay, let's pull some tarot cards now. Let's see what else is popping off for my Geminis. Okay, I got cards falling. Geminis, what do they need to hear at this moment? Every time. You can count on these cards to fall on the floor. Okay, so I have the Queen of Cups, excuse me. We got the Ten of Cups. We got the Fool card. We got the Tower, and we got the Hierophant. Okay, so starting off with these. When it comes to, again, I kind of saw a little bit of this earlier. When it comes to people who you have a level of compassion, grace for, who do not have that same level of grace and compassion for you, especially if this is like certain family members, if this is certain friends, this is not limited to anybody, but I do have like the Ten of Cups here, so this could be family for some of you. But anybody who you like go out of your way to give money, give advice, give empathy to, or just give, like I said, a level of grace to, even though they may not do the same. Like they may actually disrespect you in the level of grace that you give them. At some point, you're going to learn that your boundaries need to be up. And that doesn't mean change who you are as a person. That just means change who you do that for. There's certain people who have to fit there's certain criteria, there's certain things that you need to have in place when you're that type of person. When you are, generous, when you are loving, you have to just be mindful who you give that piece to. To people who will match that energy, who will see that and not take advantage of that. And that's something that you guys are going to learn at some point, or you have learned, and now it's about just not choosing to be on the other side of that spectrum to where you shut yourself off emotionally or close yourself off because of, past tense people and them being, greedy, okay? Because people who take, that's just what they do. They're just going to keep taking until you say no, all right? Another thing I'm seeing, when it comes to the foundation of a marriage that some of you guys are in, there is an opportunity to fix the marriage. There just may be a need for like a new approach to how the issues are being handled. There could be a huge focus on whatever like traumatic or, tower moment you guys may have had within your marriage, where there hasn't been this opportunity for you guys to like move past that yet. Like you guys may be still stuck in the I feel traumatized state. So there is a chance for you guys to work on the relationship, but the question becomes, can there be a fresh start? Can you truly forgive this person? Can this person truly forgive you if it was like more so on your end? Whatever end this may have happened. But as long as there's this focus on the event itself, there's no progression that kind of comes out of this. Okay, another thing that some of you guys need to hear, I have the Six of Cups, the Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, the Crown of Pentacles, and also the Ace of Cups. So the more that you ruminate mentally on what you did wrong or what you could have did differently past tense, it doesn't allow you to feel good about yourself. And this could be the source of you feeling mentally stuck. Some of you have been wondering, like, what is that thing that I've been like feeling that I just can't seem to shake? And you can't really put a name on it, a word on it. It just kind of feels off. This, like I said, literally could be the fact that some of you are constantly in this state of like trying to find fault in actions past tense. Not in the way where you're trying to learn from it, but more so in the sense of like, oh, I wish I could go back in the past and do things differently now with what I know now. And I mean, again, it's a perfect thing to do this if you're learning from it and you're allowing yourself the space to grow from it. Not when you're doing it like beating yourself up, though, because then at that point, it's like, well, are you really being kind to yourself? Are you really allowing yourself the space to grow? So that is something you want to be careful of. Also, another thing that's kind of coming up, some of you are having a hard time when it comes to trusting people in the romantic sense and also in the friend department because of the fact that maybe you've had, of course, some traumatizing experiences of like overly trusting, but it's to a point to where you could be maybe losing sight of some really good people. Like I'm seeing for some of you, there's someone around you who genuinely wants to be either with you or be close to you in some fashion, but you could be side-eyeing them really closely, and it may not even be something that they've done. Like this could be somebody who you're just cool with or you're getting to know romantically, and you want to be careful of letting trust issues distort the way you look at someone who could actually be good for you. Okay, they could be somebody who's very respectful, somebody who's very consistent, especially if they are an earth sign. This could really be any zodiac sign, but the way that they could be showing up, it could be making you feel suspicious of them because of the fact that they're being consistent. And Spirit wants you to be very mindful of like brushing something off that could actually be good for you, just out of the mere questioning because of past tense stuff. But this is all the stuff that I see here. I hope that I was helpful in giving you some insight on the messages for you. If you did enjoy, definitely thumbs up the video, subscribe so you never miss a beat, and I will see my Geminis in the next one. Thank y'all.